Okay, good morning everyone. Can you guys hear my voice okay? Yes, yes. Okay, that's great. I have a soft voice, so making sure you guys can hear me. So good morning everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for braving the uncertainties of Florida weather. It's a great turnout and I'm certainly happy to have you here. So let's start. My name is Marina Kolomiets, and together with my colleague Irina Andonova, we will talk today about call queues and auto attendants in Office 365 and how you can get them and how you can use the phone system from Office 365 for your company. What the requirements are, what we have right now, what the licensing is, and what we have coming up in store for you. So phone system, cloud services in Office 365 is what used to be formerly known as Cloud PBX system. Yes, we have been going through renaming, and we have chosen to give it a more user-friendly name and more descriptive name to many of our colleagues, phone system. A phone system contains services such as auto attendant, call queues, voicemail, and other advanced premium services that will be coming up will also be part of phone system, like group calling, for example. And we will look at the tenant and user requirements to use those services from Office 365. And then we're going to talk about call queuing and distribution. We'll have a little demo. And then we're going to move on to auto attendants, IVR, speech recognition in auto attendants, and all the wonderful things and the clients that we support for auto attendants. And after that, we will talk about a very hot topic, integration with Teams and how we will be working with Teams. It comes with a demo included. We will show you a little sneak peek of what we have been working on, and we will demonstrate how an auto attendant, formerly Cloud PBX, now phone system auto attendant, can receive a call and route it to a Teams user. And Irina is going to help me with that. And last but not the least, we will talk about the upcoming features in phone system for auto attendants and call queues. And I will start talking there about a very important update that we have in store for you, which is support for hybrid topologies. So bear with me, it's a very big topic, very important topic. I will be talking to you about this today. Okay, Office 365 phone system. What is it? It's basically a package in Office 365 that can bring you voice services, cloud voice services, without setting up any telephony hardware on premises for you. And it brings with it such advanced services as auto attendants and call queues, where you can set up your business phone setup together with IVR, business hours, holidays, complex call routing, various fallback and overflow and timeout and escalation systems, and call queues where you can basically handle calls to your company at scale. Phone system is included by default in Office 365 E5 plan. So if your company got E5, you by definition already got phone system product and you do not need to make any extra steps. It is also included in such a variation of E5 that comes without audio conferencing. That's a new name for PSTN conferencing, by the way. Anybody who has E1, E3, or any other Office 365 plan can still get those services. All you need to do is to buy phone system as an add-on. And our phone system services are completely Office 365 compliant. They're certified for government community cloud. And they come with a full set of UI administration through the online portal, and also with a full set of PowerShell commandlets as well. So for those of us who like scripting better, there is a full set of commandlets available, which actually give you a more granular control than UI. So if you need to go and do something advanced, commandlets may be just for you. Tenant configuration requirements. Right now, at this very moment, we are only supporting online tenants for our phone system services. By online tenants, I mean you guys do not have any on-premises footprint of Link 2013 or of SFB Server 2015. You are completely online with online Azure Directory, and you get PSTN numbers, basically your telephony from Microsoft. And we do support multinational corporations as well. So if your users are homed in different regions, those scenarios are completely supported end to end. All the call flows are supported with auto attendance and call queues. There is one single limitation. You do not get to choose where to home your auto attendance and call queues. They are homed in your primary region by default. But we will be supporting hybrid tenant configurations very soon. We do recognize that most of our customers are actually in the hybrid mode, where they might be partially online, but maybe still getting their telephony from on-premises using either Cloud Connector Edition, or they're in split domain topology, where some users are online, some users are on premises, or OPCH, which is pretty much the main case right now. Where the basically achieve on-premises connectivity with hybrid voice. So I will talk about this and approximate timelines in the upcoming features section. So now that we talked about the tenant configuration requirements, let's talk about how to enable your users to use premium services such as auto attendance and call queues, and what are the licensing requirements for this. There are actually two ways to enable your online users to work with auto attendance and call queues. The underlying requirement is that your online user has a phone system end user license, which is a new name for Cloud PBX end user license. And one of the ways how to enable your online user to be, say, a call queue agent, an operator, an auto attendant, an overflow redirect option, be discoverable with directory search, is to give your users user calling plans from Microsoft. So they can have a number, they can call out outside of the company, they can call each other, they can conference other people outside of the company. Yes, it will bear extra cost, the cost of the calling plan, IDP domestic or international calling plan, and we only have it available in a few countries right now. So it's a limitation, we realize this. So there is a different way of how you enable your online users to use our services, which bears absolutely no cost. Below you will see this little set user commandlet, set user identity Amos Marble, to flip the enterprise voice enabled flag for this online user to true. This is a second way how you can enable your online users to be eligible for our Azure Voice services. And this bears no cost to you. This is also a precursor to enablement of hybrid users. But right now, this is a way for you to enable your users to use our services at no extra cost. Users with this kind of flag set, they cannot have a PSTN number because this is not giving your phone connectivity, just enabling you to receive calls, receive inbound calls from call queues and auto attendants. But such users can, they can conference each other, they can transfer calls to each other, to everybody within your company or users federated with you. So if inbound calls only scenarios are what you're looking for your online users, you can definitely use this way. Okay, let's move on. I'm often getting asked, so okay, there is a way to get the calls, inbound calls to users from your services. What about the outbound calls? What do I need to do to make sure my employees are protected, their identity is protected, and when they make the outbound calls, the callback number and the identity that comes up is not their own, but that of an auto attendant at call queue. It is possible to do right now. It's in production already. However, it's only available in PowerShell. The key here is to set up a new calling line identity policy. Like you can see this little example here. I'm setting up here a new calling line identity. It's UK sales queue office with the call queue number listed there. This is step number 1. Step number 2 is to grant this voice policy to a user that you want to call out, and you want to mask this identity and present an identity of a sales queue instead. And this little line, grant CS calling line identity policy to Amos Marble, will make sure that anytime Amos Marble calls outside of the company, he will not come up as Amos Marble. He will come up as UK sales queue, and the number that will show is the sales queue number. So all the callbacks will actually come to the sales queue. And users can use their SFB client already to check out what identities they have. Depending on how this policy is set up, there are some cases where users are allowed to flip through the identity and choose which identity they're calling out with. So this has been available since, I guess, July for us. So please check it out. It's a very important feature that we lit up for you. There was a lot of customer feedback exactly on the need for this. Okay. Now that we talked about enabling our tenants for the use of call queues and auto attendants and what we can do to enable our users to use them, let's look what call queues and auto attendants bring to your company. Let's start with call queues. So what is a call queue? A call queue is an Azure cloud service, which is part of Office 365 services. And what does it give you? It gives you the ability to handle calls at scale. Make sure that every call is answered, that every call is greeted, and that you can handle more calls than you have people available on hand. In this particular example, you have only 3 agents available, but you have 6 calls sitting in the queue. The 3 calls that arrived first have been handled by your agents, while the 3 calls that arrived a little bit later, they have been accepted, people have been greeted with the appropriate greeting, and they are sitting in the queue waiting to be serviced by the next available agent. So let's go back here. How do you construct your call queue? You have to assign a service number, either tolled or toll-free, to your call queue. This is the current requirement. However, I have a good news for you guys. We will be relaxing this requirement very soon. Very soon an update will come up which will make assigning a service number to a queue optional. And I will talk in the update section about when and what does it mean for you. You can set up a greeting to greet your customers, to make sure to verify that the call actually is in the right place. It's completely optional. You don't have to do it. You can choose music on hold. Music on hold is important. We supply a default music on hold, but you can choose anything you want. You can customize it for every queue. So you can also select and govern the max size of the queue, and govern what happens when the maximum size of the queue is exceeded. The same can happen. You can regulate the longest allowed wait time. It's not the minimum wait time, it's the longest allowed wait time. For example, if somebody has been waiting for more than 2 minutes, you can specify how you want to escalate this call. Maybe 2 minutes is too long. The call can go to another call queue, an auto attendant, can be escalated to a user, can end up in voicemail. Greetings and music on hold. Let's see what we're actually supporting for this. Right now, call queues are supporting audio files only as greetings and music on hold. And we support 3 different formats. We only have a limitation on the upper size of the file, up to 5 megabytes, which should be plenty. And the greetings are completely optional. They're customizable. And the greeting is the first thing that your caller will hear. After the greeting is over, The caller will be transferred to the queue in the order they arrived, and they will start hearing music on hold. Music on hold, again, provided by Microsoft as part of the service. If you wish to customize it, you can. So basically, this is the music which your caller will hear while they're waiting to be serviced by the next available agent. Regulate queue size. We do not want our queues to grow indefinitely. Even though every queue has a capacity to hold 200 calls in it, sometimes we want to set it to something smaller. And by the way, the capacity of 200, it's per queue. It's not per tenant. It is per queue. You can have many queues in your tenant. The 200 calls is per queue, or per service number, if that's how you want to think about it. And all incoming calls which are above capacity, say you set your queue capacity to 10 calls, call number 11 will have to get escalated somewhere. And we provide different options what you want to do with this. Do you want to redirect it somewhere else? Do you want to go to voicemail? Do you want for it to be disconnected? What do you want to do with this call? The other governor that you can use to regulate your throughput of your call queue and how calls get escalated is the maximum wait time of the call. If the call has been sitting without getting attention for a little bit too long, and you decide what is too long, you can escalate this call somewhere else. You can redirect it, send it to voicemail, send it to user. We do have an update coming up on this as well, which came very strongly as part of the customer feedback, that we need to allow a sub-minute timeouts. This will be coming very soon. From now on, once the update rolls out, you will be able to set up your timeout in seconds, 10, 15, 30, 45 seconds. And the scenario here is that for many companies, the preferred way to handle a call is to give this call a chance to reach a live person. And if this doesn't happen within, say, 30 seconds, maybe this call needs to go to a bot and go talk to an auto attendant instead and do some self-service. What happens when you set those two values to zeros? If you set your maximum queue size to 0, this means that no call can enter queue and they all will be escalated to your overflow option. And this is a nice way to redirect your calls without messing up with your total setup or taking the call queue down. Set it to 0, all the calls arriving after the greeting, they will be overflown to an option that you set. The same happens for maximum wait time. If you set it to 0, the call will enter call queue, but it will time out immediately and it will get escalated to your timeout option. It will never even have a chance to reach the agents. It will immediately go to the escalation option. Okay. The call distribution available in call queues right now. Right now, they only have attendant routing. What is attendant routing? The call at the head of the queue rings every single agent in the queue, except the agents who have signed out of their clients and the agents who set themselves on Do Not Disturb. And we have a very important update coming up. We will give the agents the ability to opt themselves out of receiving calls from the queue at will. They can opt out and opt themselves back in soon. Those agents will not be called. So the calls are serviced at their first come, first served basis. And the call which is currently at the head of the queue is the one who is basically hunting for the agent. This call is hunting for the agent, and it rings the agents for a set amount of time, which is known as agent alert time. You, by the way, can regulate how long this alert time is using commandlets, and the values range from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. It's up to you to regulate. The default value is 30 seconds. So in this particular case, the call at the head of the queue will ring those 3 agents for 30 seconds. If nobody picks up, or they all dismiss the call does not go away. It will try again and again. It will try to find an agent again and again until it times out. Then it goes into escalation option. And I should mention that we will be rolling out another routing method for call queues, which is a serial routing method. It's a little bit different than this one, and I will talk about this and the approximate timelines in the upcoming update section. Call queue agents. Of course, we need to select the people who will become our agents. I talked about the underlying licensing requirements before and how there are two ways to get calls to the users. One of them is less expensive than the others, but also has some limitations. And we are allowing you to add agents in distribution lists and security groups. And soon to come, we will support Office 365 groups, also known as unified groups as well. You can add multiple groups. In this example, there are 3 groups added. You do not have to lump your agents into the same group. No, you can manipulate different groups. What's nice is that you can also manipulate the order of those groups in this grid. This is the UI grids. And this will become important when we move on to serial routing, because you can regulate the order of the agents get the call. I will talk about this in the upcoming update section as well. So we support up to 50 agents in our agent list. And right now, they are only online, homed agents. We do not support CCE or on-prem based users right now. This is an upcoming update. And the same agent can be in multiple queues. Nothing prevents you from listing the same person for sales queue and marketing queue. And with agent opt-in, opt-out capability that basically enables this person to do shift work and just opt yourself out when you're not on the shift for the other queue. As you can see here, I always get asked about how to set up groups and how soon they become available for the call queue and how the synchronization works. If you set up your distribution list or security group, it might take up to 30 minutes for it to synchronize all the way up and become available for the queue. And that is because it goes through the multiple synchronization points. If you use existing group, there is no synchronization. It happens much easier. The synchronization of agents is inbuilt in a call queue. If you add or remove a person to a group or distribution list, once the synchronization kicks in, and it kicks in every 30 minutes, this person is removed from the agent list. You do not have to do any other actions. You do not have to go to the queue and clean this person there as well. There is, I should also mention, it's been a pain point with on-premise solution. If your agent went through a name change, like their alias have changed, this is automatically picked up by the system. You do not have to add this person again or remove them again. All the name changes are handled below the carpet. We are taking care of it. We are looking up and detecting that there has been a name change, that the handle has changed, but it's still the same person. So this is hidden from you. We are taking care of this. And call queue agents are supported on multiple endpoints. We definitely support Skype for Business desktop clients. We support Mac and mobile. This is very new, has been released in July this year. And we support a variety of IP phones for our call queue agent. And the same applies for anybody who gets a call from Attendant. Skype for Business desktop client 2016 and Link desktop client are supported in both versions. Later in the presentation, we will talk about support for another desktop client, which is Teams client. It's a very big topic, and my colleague Irina Andanova will talk about our plans about this. We also support a variety of IP phones devices. We are working with 3 partners. A huge variety of devices is supported, starting from a high-end device like VVX 600 from Polycom, to mid-range, to completely entry-level, very affordable devices. And The catalog of our devices can be found online. It is accurate. All devices certified for Skype for Business Online are supported for call queues and auto attendants. Here is a link there. If you're buying new, you can follow up on the link and see what we have to offer. It's important to list the correct product ID. The product IDs I have here are basically the ones that will let the manufacturer know that that these phones are to be updated to be certified for Skype for Business Online. And there is a minimum firmware version required, which I'm listing here, if you happen to be updating your own phones. Okay, a great topic, Mac and mobile clients. I'm happy to announce that we have a full support for Mac and mobile clients, including iPad, iPhone, and Android, starting with these versions. The update is recent. It came out in July, and it's been part of a very strong customer feedback that there are a wide variety of mobility scenarios, and we have to support it. It's a modern workplace. People use Mac. People are not tied to the office. They are roaming around with their mobile phones. They have to be supported. The workforce is no longer stationary. We have listened and we have rolled out this update. And I would like to invite my colleague Irina Andonova for a little demo of how you can take calls on your mobile devices from call queues.
Good morning, everyone. Let's do a demo.
Morning, come on. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to place a call from my cell phone to a call queue. And Irina's going to play a role of an agent, and she will get her call on her mobile.
And so you can see I'm logged in on Skype for Business on an iPhone currently. Waiting for the call.
Thank you for calling Microsoft Orlando office. Please hold to be connected to the next available agent.
Irina is the only one available. Everybody else is not signed in.
Here comes my call. You can hit accept. Once I have accepted the call, and as soon as the call is connected, I will be able to speak with my customer. Good morning. Welcome to Ignite.
Okay.
You can hear it's a live call.
It's a live call. The feedback is the proof of it. So here you go. We have enabled the mobile scenarios.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a big journey, but it did happen. Okay, let's move on to auto attendants, which are very often used in conjunction with call queues. To set up a full phone system, you would need both, and they're very, very much intertwined. So what are auto attendants in phone system? Auto attendants is basically an automated interactive self-service for your caller. If your caller cannot reach a person, or if you prefer to set up your main entrance point to your business phone system through this self-service IVR, this is what auto attendant is for. It always picks up, it's always available. It will give your callers a set of interactive options to basically get their calls where they want to go. Our scale is very big. We can handle a lot of concurrent calls for auto attendants, so they're very well suited to handle calls at scale. Again, for auto attendant right now, you need a service number, either tolled or toll-free variety. We are relaxing this requirement. Soon you will be able to have auto attendants without needing to put a service number on top of it. That is important when you want to construct a multi-level IVR or for other scenarios, and I will talk about this later on. You can also greet and route your callers based on business hours in auto attendant. You can set up different greetings for different times of the days. And we're also rolling out the ability for you to set up holidays, also known as exceptions, where you can set up holidays, and everybody who calls on New Year's will get a special greeting for New Year's and special call treatment as well. IVR is basically part of auto attendant, and you can create an interactive voice menus which you can navigate with speech recognition or keypad input. DTMF is always supported. Speech recognition is available in 14 languages, but not required. It's up to you guys if you want to even use speech recognition. You can construct your menu or construct your business hours, after hours option to redirect your calls to other auto attendants. This is how you're going to create a nice 3 IVR structure, to other users, to queues or voicemail. And when I say users, right now I mean online users only, but with the hybrid support update, it will be any kind of user you have in your organization. You can also allow the callers to perform directory search, which basically search your directory by person's name, look somebody up, and get your call transferred to this person. And if you prefer not to talk to a robot, you can break out the operator, which is a live person. Okay, so create an auto attendant flow. Of course, you get to set up greetings and menu prompts, and set up your business hours and your after hours options, and also soon to be holiday options. And you can do it with using audio files or text to speech. Key assignment, which is basically bread and butter of setting up your menu, is also supported. Any key can be assigned, and any key can also get voice command assigned to this. For example, in this example, like the sales department is the voice key for key number 1. So you can say 1, or you can say sales. It will be the same voice command. And you can set up your calls to be directed to a user, to a call queue, to another auto attendant, or you can get them to voicemail. You can either enable or disable dial by name. It's not required, of course. And if you do so, your callers will be able to call your auto attendant, say the name, say Irina, and they will be presented with a choice of all Irinas in the organization. But maybe this is not what you want. Maybe you want to narrow down the scope of directory search to a specific location, or maybe by product. You can do it. You can do it by using dial scope in auto attendant, and you can partition your directory, active directory, for dial by name based on inclusion or exclusion lists. Yes, we will give you an option to exclude certain people from directory search. For example, anybody who calls Microsoft number should never be able to reach Satya Nadella by name, for obvious reasons. You can put a lot of people on this exclusion list, and we're going to pretend they do not exist for dial by name. Once you do it, that's it. They're skipped. And the whole set of options that you can set, they're available for business hours. An exact clone of those options is available for after hours as well. That will let you create pretty deep and complex menus. But let's talk about inclusion and exclusion lists. So you can partition your directory for search using inclusion and exclusion. That also came as feedback to us that the main use case is really not to search the full company directory. Maybe for some SMBs it is, but for most companies it is not. The auto attendant is per location, and directory needs to be partitioned per location or a combination of thereof. So we right now support directory searches on the name list of 80,000 users, 80,000 users, which is plenty. This is a limitation we have from speech recognition. So to achieve high accuracy with dial by name with speech recognition, I call and I say Irina. We support 80,000 users. With keypad-based search, there is no limitation. We support very, very large directories as we tested it. So there is no limitation at all. The name list that you set up, your directory, basically gets synchronized every 12 hours. So if you have people on board, leaving your organization within 12 hours, they are no longer available with a directory search. To manipulate your dial scope, you can use inclusion option. By definition, by default, all online users in your Active Directory are included, but you can narrow it down by using distribution lists, security groups, Office 365 groups in any combinations of thereof, and it can be multiple lists. So you can put one list and then another list and then another list. And you can exclude people like Satya Nadella from ever being found with directory search by putting them in their group and attaching them into the exclude bucket. These users will be hidden from directory search. We will never even admit they exist. They will never get a call with directory search. And in all cases, exclusion trumps inclusion. What does it mean? If you set up the same distribution list for inclusion and then go and set it up for exclusion, you will end up with 0 users, which are searchable. So this will make your life a little bit simpler. But you'll put people who might be in both distribution lists or groups, and you need to exclude just some of them. Creating multi-level IVR with auto attendants. Yes, this can be achieved. So you can achieve multiple levels in your search tree, in your menu tree. There is no limitation. And you do this by simply pointing one key in your previous menu to an auto attendant, to your next level of auto attendant. And other keys can be pointing to call queues. So this is a little example. This is actually a little real life example. This is how my demo is for real life auto attendant that I always give. It has 3 levels. I'm using 3 auto attendants to construct this. And all the other branches end up on call queues. So right now, every level that you use, say your services menu auto attendant, will require a service number assigned to it. So if you look at this tree, you can probably count how many service numbers you need right now. We are relaxing this requirement. Very soon, you will spend less numbers on your auto attendant once the update rolls out. For example, services menu, the second layer of menu, and directory search menu will not need an actual service number on top of it. Why would you need this? These are the options you can only reach from calling the main office menu. Okay. Language support. We have a pretty good coverage for text-to-speech for auto attendants. Right now, we support 27 languages. We have a large set. And we are about to add Turkish and Catalan to the set of the supported languages, and eventually this set will grow too. We are working with our friends in speech recognition and text-to-speech teams to expand this language set. Speech recognition is currently available in 14 languages, and all major languages are covered, including Portuguese, Japanese, and Chinese, the Mandarin version of it. Basically, we are covering effix, the variations, plus Japanese, Portuguese, and Chinese. Okay, let's move on to a very important section, integration with Teams. And I would like to invite Irina Andonova to talk about what's in store for us and Teams in the future.
Can you guys hear me? There you go. How many of you attended the session on unified communications on Monday afternoon? Okay, good set. If you have not, I would encourage you, have a look, review the material. It's the session we discussed the evolution of our strategy from unified communications into the more bolder, intelligent communications. And what does it mean as we're building Skype for Business capabilities into Teams based on a new cloud-born Skype enterprise-grade infrastructure. Over time, we will also create one end-to-end user experience in Teams. And of course, we'll continue innovating and adding additional capabilities based on Microsoft Graph, machine learning, AI, and so on. So what does that actually mean for the services Marina talked about, auto attendant and call queues? Well, we're working very hard on integrating and enabling Teams users as agents and users to be able to participate in the workflows for call queues and ORG-AAs. So in other words, I can be an agent logged in on Skype for Business. Marina can be a user on Teams, and we can connect, or vice versa. I can be an agent on Teams. Marina can be a user on Skype for Business. We can communicate. So that's work in progress. We're targeting to have it available in the first half of the next calendar year. And with that, we actually want to show you a little sneak peek of how could that actually work for one set of scenarios.
Yes, it's a pretty tiny sneak peek. It literally is work in progress, but we are happy to show you. And this demo will demonstrate how I will be placing a call to my multi-level IVR. You saw the structure in the previous slide. It's a real auto attendant that I always use for the demos. And I will navigate through 3 levels of branches, and I will attempt to use directory search to look up Irina, who will accept the call on her Teams client, not on her SFB client. And while we are navigating this menu, I would like you to pay special attention to the new voice that we have rolled out for auto attendants. This is the US English voice, and we've been working very hard to bring up the quality of our robot voices to a very good level so people are satisfied with them and our robots present themselves professionally. So we already rolled out English UK voice. This is the US voice, very recent update, came out in July, and we will be rolling out more voices. But without further ado.
So you can see my desktop. I'm logged in on a Teams client, and you can see calling is in preview, as you've heard in the Monday session. I am, of course, on the preview, and I have calling enabled. So Marina is going to reach me from a mobile phone. She's going to place a call to an auto attendant, and I'll be the agent answering.
Okay, let's do it.
Thank you for calling our Orlando office. For sales, press or say 1. For technical support, press or say 2. For services, press or say 3. To speak to an operator, press 0 or say operator at any time. You can choose any option on this menu by saying its name or number. To hear this menu again, press the star key or say repeat.
Services for me.
Means services.
You can choose any option on this menu by saying its name or number. For parking services, press or say 1. For operations, press or say 2. For facilities, press or say 3. For company directory search, press or say 4. To speak to an operator, press 0 or say operator at any time. To hear this menu again, press the star key or say repeat.
Directory search.
To search our company directory, you can simply say or enter a person's name. To speak to an operator, press 0 or say operator at any time. To hear this menu again, press the star key or say repeat.
Let's find Irina here. I'm just going to type the first 3 letters.
I have found 2 similar names. For Irina Sanders, press 1. For Irina Andinova, press 2. To hear this menu again, press the star key. To return to the previous menu, press the pound key.
Irina Andonova, here we come.
All right.
Transferring your call to Irina Andinova.
Okay. So the call's transferring, and in a moment we hear a drink, and you can actually see the toast pop up. Once I hit accept, sorry, live call.
Live call. You've seen it.
Once the call is connected, you can actually see it connecting on my Teams laptop here.
Yeah. So this is the first phase of our integration, and I'm happy to be able to give you this demo. This is work in progress, so excellent, it worked.
Thank you.
Okay, so you saw a sneak peek of a very major milestone that we are working on, which is integration with Teams. Teams will become a fully supported client for any calls placed to Attendant or any calls placed to call queue. What does it mean? It means that you can have agents on Teams, and Teams will become a supported console with very rich capabilities like chat and shared collaboration space. So this is a big news and a big step forward for call queues as well. But beyond integration with Teams, we have been very busy working on a whole set of other updates, including support for hybrid topologies, for call queues and auto attendants. This is coming. This is coming very soon. I would say we're probably gonna announce it in our blog very shortly, and I will talk how you can watch our Skype for Business blog for any announcements on the topics like this or any other upcoming updates. And this is what we will be supporting. We will be supporting 3 types of hybrid topologies: Cloud Connector Edition, of course, OPCH, which majority of our customers are on right now, and Split Domain. Split domain is a topology that right now allows you to have some online users, some users on premises. We're going to support it, and once we do, you can have call queue agents. You can have a mix of call queue agents. Some can be online, some can be on premises. With CCE, your users are basically online, but you do get your phone connectivity and phone numbers from your third-party providers, not from Microsoft. We will support them as well. And OPCH is a situation where your setup is that both are on premises. Your users are homed on premises in your own company installations of Link 2013 or Skype for Business 2015 server. And your users are homed on premises, and you get your telephony from on-premises third-party providers. These people will become eligible to use our cloud services as well. If this situation is something which is attractive to you, you think you're going to go this route, you should perhaps attend the session on hybrid voice setup in Skype for Business Online, which is actually coming up today. I think it's in the afternoon. And this session will give you the details about these 3 types of topology sets up, and it will drill down in the details of connectivity and architecture as well. So it's going to be a detailed session which will give you a dive in what you can do to take advantage of our online voice services with your on-prem deployments. So this is a very big update. You basically, what we jointly call hybrid users will become eligible to be call queue agents. They will become eligible to be operators for auto attendant. They will come up in the directory search as well. If you have a mix online on-prem, doesn't matter, they will become available right away. And they can be redirect targets for any of our services. And together with this update, we are bringing you a few other updates. First of them is, as I mentioned, we are making assigning service numbers to call queues and auto attendants optional. So what does it mean? If you're setting up an IVR, it means that inner levels of IVR and call queues in that IVR do not need numbers at all. To put it a little bit more in technical terms, we are basically making them SIP addressable. The SIP addresses of those call queues and auto attendants will become callable. SIP addresses will become callable, and Call queues and auto attendants will also get a footprint in Active Directory as an actual entities. What does it mean? It means that your users can discover them in their contacts. They can put them in their contacts, and they can make calls or transfer calls from their contacts. No need to punch in a PSTN number anymore. If you have a sales queue, you got a call that you think should be serviced by sales queue, by all means, search for sales queue in your contacts and just transfer the call, and it will go through the SIP routing. It will never hit the gate, never be a PSTN call. It's a SIP call. Yay. Yeah, it will become a lot cheaper for you guys to set up IVR. You will not burn through loads and loads service numbers. Not anymore, not anymore. And I should also mention that the discoverability will be available for both on-prem and online users. This is all part of the same update. Another good news that I have to you, a lot of you have experienced the caller ID issue in the pop-up of a call queue. That right now it displays a GUID, which is actually a SIP address. This update will fix this. It's all part of the whole system of how we are bringing the footprints of call queues and auto attendants into Active Directory. So with this update, this issue should be fixed as well. But this is not all. As I mentioned before, opt-in, opt-out for agents is coming. It is coming soon. It will be governed by the admin. By default, every queue will have this enabled. So by definition, by default, all the agents in this particular queue will get the ability to opt in and opt out at will. But if it doesn't work for your agents, the admin can just revoke the privilege. If admin revokes the privilege, every agent becomes automatically opted in again, and they cannot opt out. And as I mentioned before, your agent can be part of multiple queues. Some of them will have this privilege, some of them might not have this privilege. And the same update. Agents will be able to opt in, opt out at will, and they can see their queue membership using the user settings page, which might be familiar to you because voicemail settings are in the same page. And so is dial-in conferencing. And they can see their queue membership, they can opt in and opt out, and they can also see what privileges they have. Right now, in this particular example, this person is a member of 2 call queues, sales and marketing, and they can only opt out of sales queue. They do not have this privilege for marketing. There's not going to be any notifications popping up in your client or anything like this. This is the page where they can opt in, opt out, and check their current status. Okay. Serial routing method. I've been promising it for a while, and now we are talking about it. Serial routing method is a little bit different from Attendant in how the calls are distributed. The call at the head of the queue rings only one agent at the same time. It rings one agent for an allotted amount of time, which you can regulate. Anything from 30 seconds to 3 minutes, up to you. You can regulate this. And if this first agent declines or ignores the call moves on to another one and then another one until it is actually handled. And the call moves through the agent list in the order determined by the admin. And this is falling back into how when you add in your distribution list, you can actually manipulate the order of your distribution lists. I do not have a screenshot yet on this, but we will be also allowing you to add single users in the addition of distribution lists and call queues. And for this particular scenario, once this update rolls out, you will be able to manually manipulate the order of how the agents, how you want your agents to be called. And of course, the agents with this update can be either on-prem or online. And if they're offline or do not disturb, they will not be called. If they're opt-out, they will not be called either. And by the way, I should also make sure that that I mentioned that opt-out will also be available to the hybrid users. It's not just for online users. Opt-out will cover the hybrid users as well. Holidays and auto attendants. This is also upcoming very soon. This is the update that we've been working on auto attendants in parallel with enhancing our speech recognition and our voices for auto attendants. And this is basically going to bring you the ability to add up to 20 holidays to your auto attendant, also known as exceptions sometimes. You can set up holiday greetings, you can set up holiday-specific call routing as well. And for every holiday, you can choose up to 10 date ranges. We're allowing you to sort of pre-set up dates for your holidays. And there's a little enhancement on top of this. You can also choose the time, not just the day, but the time when to start and end your holiday. In this particular example, a lot of companies give half a day off to their employees for New Year's Eve, and you can go to your holiday and start it on, say, 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So they get off half a day, and you can end it, you can choose the ending date as well. So you can basically set up a 6-hour holiday if you want. It has a little side benefit that such holidays can also be used as exceptions, which if you do not have a recurrent holiday, but it's a day off, maybe it's Founder's Day, or you have to be closed for some kind of inspection, you can set up this exception and manipulate the hours when you're closed as a one-off, and it doesn't have to be a regular holiday. And we also provide you with a set of utilities to export your holidays from one auto attendant and import them into another one, because we recognize setting up the same thing manually, you don't have to do it. We do give you export and import. It is PowerShell only right now, but it will be available to you. Another topic that I would like to highlight is that we've been getting a lot of feedback on how we can improve our speech recognition and text-to-speech in auto attendants. And as I mentioned before, we are working on expanding our language set to cover more and more regions, starting with Turkish and Catalan. These are upcoming very soon. We have already upgraded our English UK and English US voices to a higher grade voice, as you've seen in the demo. And we are working on French, coming next very soon, probably October-ish, maybe by the end of October it will be rolled out. Spanish, Mexico, and Spanish, Spain, and German. This is what we have queued up. And we're also working on a lot of infrastructure updates and optimizations to make the experience smoother for you guys. So yeah, we've been putting a lot of effort into it, and it's been paying off. Okay. As part of our integration with Teams, the auto attendant admin UI and call queues as well will be migrated to a new modern Teams and Skype for Business unified admin center. So it will gain a new UI. There will be some usability improvements in the flows as well. So I am personally looking forward to this very much, because the new portal will give us an opportunity to bring a lot of, say, user interface improvements that you've been asking for as well. Okay, so this is basically the updates I have shortlisted for you guys. You can also see that there are some other improvements coming in, as in user search will be greatly improved as well. So basically in the modern portal, when you search for the users, you will be able to see their current licensing, and you will get an immediate feedback what kind of licensing this user needs in order to be enabled for auto attendant and call queues. It will bring you greater visibility into your users and all the potential error states and how to fix them. And these are the updates which I have shortlisted to talk to you about right now for this session. And I would like also to talk to you how you can stay aware of the upcoming updates and be the first ones to know. Please sign up for Tech Community. This is a great place to start a discussion on your scenarios, to get some feedback from your fellow specialists to talk to product specialists as well. And I promise you, we do go through the community. We do read your comments a lot. This is part of how we get our user feedback. And this is also, Skype for Business blog is also a place where we announce the changes and updates. As you can see, for example, the availability of voicemail settings preview was announced in the blog in this particular screenshot, and the support for mobility and Mac has also been announced in the blog. And all the upcoming updates and rollouts and major events will also be announced in this blog. So sign up for the blog. This is basically your source of news on what's coming up for the attendance and call queues. And I would also invite you to attend other sessions at Ignite that might suit your interest. For example, as I mentioned before, there is a session on hybrid setup coming up. It's today. And if hybrid is in your future, please attend its in-depth technical session on the architecture details and what options you have there. There's also a session on how to transfer your service number or any other business number to Microsoft if you want to have Microsoft as your phone number provider, as a telephony provider. That is also a very good session with little details and gotchas and caveats. It is there because there is a lot of user feedback about confusion and variations on the regulations and things that can or cannot be done, and regional variability. And of course, the main session announcing the integration with Teams. If some of you have not seen it, please check it out. There is a lot of information there as well. And if you actually want to get down to it and start enabling your users for Teams, attend the session that basically walks you step by step how to enable your users for Teams. There's a lot of interest in this, and here's the opportunity to get technical direction right there. And with this, Irina and I will now be accepting any questions if you have any. Questions, comments? Here's a microphone. Go ahead.
I had a question on reporting. I know today response groups usually do what we want them to do, but our users, we can't implement it for our users because it doesn't have the reporting needs that they have. So what was coming as far as reporting?
Okay. The question is basically about call queue statistics. Yes. Okay. Yes, this has not been shortlisted on something that I just showed, because remember, this is just the top of what we are doing. This is very much on our radar. Yes, it's a hot topic. It will be implemented, and it will be implemented in on two surfaces. There will be some work done with Teams to float up call queue statistics right in Teams. This is more for the agents to make educated decisions, what call to take, what not to take. There will be historical statistics also available in the new portal as well. We will not skip this. This will have to happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Go ahead.
You showed in the mobile app that you were able to, or the agents are able to answer calls. When they answer, are they answering over the voice or the data path? Or do the mobile user get to choose?
Oh, I see what you're asking. Okay, let me think about it. I don't think it ever hits the outbound gate, so it should be the VoIP. It's not a PSTN call.
So it's through the data.
Yeah, it's a data call.
It is the Skype for Business app. Mm-hmm. So the Skype for Business app goes over VoIP. If you make an outbound, then you would have to be making a PSTN call. But in the case, it's hitting you the VoIP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Do you plan to make Auto Attendant available via the CPUI, not via the phone number?
Yes.
So it will
Yes,
be.
yes. We are relaxing the requirement for service numbers, which means the CPUIs of auto attendants will now become callable. It's
so
one.
It will be possible to dial from federated users or from Skype, from personal Skype, for
Yeah.
example.
Yes, yeah. If you're federated, of course, correctly. I know what you're asking, yes.
Have you had any requests or thought about having the greeting set up so an end user could change that greeting on their own without someone else having to record it. So we have a need for several departments to change their greeting on a regular basis.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're basically asking about the role-based access photo attendants and call queues. It is also on our radar, and migration to the new portal will basically provide us a framework for this. So I understand it's pretty hot, and large corporations have needs of this to delegate some kind of responsibilities on this. So on the radar, I don't have any dates for this, though.
Okay, thank you.
Take one on the other side.
Okay.
Hi, will there be any controls on the mobile access so you can say whether the users can take the calls on mobile? Because there'd be some scenarios where you wouldn't want it, or is it easy for a user on the mobile device to opt in and out?
Oh, that's a good question. We don't currently have anything mapped out to regulate what kind of endpoints user can take a call. Because right now, if a call rings, it will ring on every endpoint, and you cannot snuff it on just for one endpoint, because you're logged in everywhere, you will ring. But I do understand the need. However, if you can use agent opt-in, opt-out for these scenarios to cover the gap, because I understand, like, you might be traveling with your cell phone, you don't want the call, just opt out, you will not get it on any of the endpoints.
And the opt-in, opt-out's just a normal website you log into?
Normal website login. This will actually be upgraded to Teams. Teams will get native controls as well,
Okay,
and
thank
Teams
you.
client. Sure. Yeah.
Yes, do you know what the possibility of a public preview of the Teams integration with the call queuing and things of that nature might be available?
This is something that will be coming down the line. So once it becomes in preview, it will become in preview and available to all customers who participate in the Teams preview. It's just through the regular channel that Teams goes through.
Thank you.
Sure.
You guys have any roadmap plans for alternate routing methodologies for call queues? So for instance, longest idle, round robin, those sorts of thought processes. I've got a few groups that are asking that particular question.
Got you. Yeah, round robin is definitely on the short list.
Okay.
Yeah, the other ones we will have to examine and handle them in the order of priority.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Take on this side.
If we have international customers, can the system handle automatically switching to another language, or do I have to do the more traditional one, Spanish, two French, and so on?
Right now it's one for Spanish, two for French. We are working on something which is language recognition and switching the tracks based on language recognition, but it's really in the research and development stage right now. It's very interesting, but for now it's press 1 for French, press 2 for Spanish.
I have an on-prem question. You mentioned that the concurrent call limit is 200 calls for Office 365. What is the limit for on-prem Skype for Business solution for the call queues or the auto attendant? I couldn't find it.
Okay. For on-premises solution, it actually is governed by your deployment size, which can be either enterprise or not enterprise, basically by the amount of servers you've got, FEs, front-end service that you've got. In online, we don't have such limitation with scale, because we are Azure service. We have this ability to scale out. And if you have many, many, many call queues in your tenant, that's every call queue can have 200 calls. You're not limited to the total amount of concurrent calls that you have. Like, we are very, very scalable. There might be a point where a customer feedback will tell us that 200 calls is not enough, we need more. If this happens, we have the ability to up this value. We are not limited by hardware anymore like we are in the premises world.
Okay, so is it 200 per front end or an on-prem, or what?
That's 200 online.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
In the presentation, you had mentioned there were two options for enabling users, one via the GUI and then one with PowerShell. And in the PowerShell option, you had the choice to not provide a phone number. With that, when we make the move to the hybrid model, can those users be, we have quite a few response groups that we have set up. Can those users be members of a response group then, or, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is basically this little PowerShell flipping the flag. It's a precursor for hybrid support, really, because if your user on premises and is a member of response group, they automatically have this flag flipped. There is no extra step for you as far as licensing goes to enable those users to use our services. They're already eligible. They're already set up correctly.
Okay, I had one other quick question. So in holidays, with specifically around holidays like Thanksgiving that occur on a specific day, like the last Thursday of the month, is there an option for that, or is it specifically always going to be tied to every year you reset and make a new date?
You can add 10 years for the future.
Okay, so you would just do that 10 years out. Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Up to
Thank
10
you.
years.
Thank
Sure.
you so much.
On this side.
Hi, we're very familiar with the Skype for Room system software and what Microsoft does with the ecosystem of partners. Is there any roadmap for a click-to-call queue option, a kiosk sort of scenario? Because we're getting that demand quite a bit up in Canada.
Good question. So I guess the question will be, hey, from a website, can I do a click to call? This is there's another session actually. Do you know when David's session is? There's another session.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
There was another session, and I don't remember the name of the session itself, but it's David Newman is the speaker. And what they do is actually they do show from an API perspective how you can call into the IVR, for example. So it's that level of integration because you need an API on top to connect.
What was the name, David?
David Newman.
David Newman.
So
Yes.
if you search for his name, you can see what they offered.
Okay.
Hi, I got 2 questions. This is all for Skype for Business Online. Are there any plans to put all of this in the on-prem 2019, the new server?
The
making of the holidays and that kind of, because you need.
Yeah,
you
I
need
got
to do it
you.
with
I got you.
PowerShell now.
Yes, I know there is literally a gap in RGS and on-prem, and you have to go through the commandlets and scripting to set up holidays, and they're not as flexible as advanced that we are doing here. There's currently no plan to port it into RGS. However, you might have an ability with the hybrid setup to simply repoint the users and use the online goodies instead.
Okay, and the other question is, with the old response groups, you had that annoying 7 seconds delay sometimes due to ICE. How is that? Is that solved in the online version?
That's a very good question. Yeah, our engineering is actually looking at it right now very, very closely, and there are several ways we can handle this. I know about the delay.
Yeah, because in the demo I saw the same response as I used to.
Yes, there is a delay. However, there might not be any delay with Teams at all if you're using Teams client because it's using a completely different stack. Okay. The problem is actually in the handovers and handshakes in the older stack, and this is part of the reason why we are going to be moving to the new stack and integrating with Teams stack. So we are looking at this right now, but this is a very hot issue, yes. Yeah.
So then the hybrid solution could be?
Hybrid solution will be using the new stack.
Yeah.
We haven't laid it out yet. We are still looking.
But that could be a way to work around it.
Yeah.
For the on-prem.
Yeah, we know about this. It's getting attention. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any plans to allow an agent to take a call on an alternate number like a cell phone in case they're on an unreliable data network?
Yeah, we do have something coming up in our backlog which is about this. It's called transfers to external PSTN numbers. Transfers to external PSTN numbers. And the idea is say for after hours, you can send a call to a cell phone number, which is not Microsoft number, just somebody's cell phone number, maybe a landline for all we know. It's a PSTN number. So once this happens, this also can be adapted to list agents on their cell phone numbers. But one thing I can tell you that might help you out, agents can use Simulring. So if you set up your cell phone number on Simulring and you're an agent, your call will also ring on your cell phone.
Okay. Yeah. It's not available today.
It will be. It will be, yes. Okay. Any other questions? No. Okay. This is great. Thank you very much, guys. such an appreciative, interactive audience that we've got. And if you have any other questions on teamwork, integration with teams, what our further looking plans are, please attend the expo. We have a booth there called Teamwork, and there is a group of people from Teams and a group of people of Sky for Business right there. Please come down, find us, talk to us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your attendance.